Hello everyone and welcome back to the show. Yes, we're finally back after our shenanigans on Breaking Point 2. I'd just like to say before I start a massive thank you to everyone who joined me on Breaking Point 2 for the past, I think it's been past 6 weeks, I think. It was a great laugh, it really was, and I really did enjoy it. And I hope that we do get a Breaking Point 3. Not that I think it would be any good, because I think Breaking Point 2 was, the story was pretty shit, to be honest. But I just hope that we get another narrative sort of structure in a game in the future. Because even if I've stopped doing career modes, I'll come back and do that again. Because it was just so much fun. It really was. And thanks to all you guys out there in the comments who really kept me going. There was one week when I did that when I really wasn't feeling that great, but that was actually the week when I got taken out on the last lap of trying to finish my objective, which was really funny as well. So yeah, I really wasn't into it, but yeah, you guys just carried me along. So I just want to say a massive thanks to everyone who joined me for Breaking Point 2, because it was just absolutely great. It really was. And my hoovers my hoover pipe is in the way. This is so unprofessional. You do not get this on the Alva channel. You do not get this on the WTF1 channel either. And all I can do is apologise. Yes, my hoover it's in the way. I've got to sort that out right now. Let me move over here. Let me just push it out. There you go. There you go. I know if I didn't do that, there'd be a lot of people out there who would be losing their minds over that. Yes. Wait a minute, Dave. Your camera's not quite central either. Let's rectify that as well. No, that's too much over there. Let's go a little bit that way. Let's see if we can rectify the camera. Get it all nice so that I'm nice and central. Yes. I like to hide the microphone as much as possible. Yes, because a lot of YouTubers, if you see them doing podcasts, they're basically like this. Yes. I don't see the point in it. Yes. So I like to get the microphone as far out of the way as possible so you can still hear me, of course. But you can't see the microphone very much at all. So there you go, everyone. We are back. I'm still not framed correctly. Let me sort that out. Hang on. Let me sort that out. Okay, we are now framed correctly. We just got to move that up a little bit, so that my big bald head is only... There you go. There you go. So yes, welcome back to everyone in the chat. And of course, this is the part everyone's been waiting for the past 6 weeks. It's the return of TB the Bear. Yes, TB the Bear. Take that bloody WTF1 sticker off, TB. Oh, you little bastard. You little bastard. He still loves his WTF1, does TB. But yes, TB, he's had a nice long holiday, haven't you, TB? Yes, nice long holiday. He's actually been in the cupboard behind me with Cockney Dave, haven't you, TB? Yeah. Did you like it in there? No? Why is that then? Cockney Dave stinks. Well, he would do. I never let him out of the cupboard. No, he's been in there since COVID. Yeah, he's been in there since COVID. I'll let him out one day, but he's too rude. Too rude for YouTube, unfortunately. Yeah, so we have to leave him in there. Anyway, so TB's been in the cupboard, keeping Cockney Dave company. In more ways than one, haven't you, TB? Yes, you dirty bear. You dirty bear. But anyway, there's TB. Let's have a look in the comments. Plynor Plessy, hello sir. Welcome to our first live stream back after Breaking Point 2. And of course, because it was my first live stream back, I was all ready to go 15 minutes ago. But no, we had a technical issue. In fact, my microphone wasn't working because in the 6 weeks that I haven't been using it, it's obviously decided I don't want to work no more, mate. Nah, I don't want to work no more. So yeah, the sound was coming out at about 5% of sound levels, which I don't think would have been too good for everyone listening at home right now. So yeah, I had to sort that out just before I came on air. But yes, finally we've got the microphone working as well, which is great, and hopefully it's coming through. Okay, let me turn the volume up and see if I can hear myself talking to myself. Hello Dave from 7 seconds ago. There you go. It's working. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Hello, Pleinal Plessy. Welcome to the stream. He says, congratulations to Max Verstappen on winning the Singapore Grand Prix. Yes, I would like to congratulate him as well for winning the Singapore Grand Prix. It's pretty much an inevitable conclusion that that's what's going to happen, providing, of course, his car doesn't fail, which at the moment it's looking pretty bulletproof. So I don't think that's going to happen. Hello, Matthew7657. Thoughts on helmet Marco, comments on Perez. I will get to that in the part of the show. I've got 3 things to talk about first, and then we will get on to helmet Marco. But it's all on the radar, so let's bring it up because I've been doing a little bit of researchy on YouTube before I came on here, while I was trying to sort out my microphone levels as well. So well done, thank you very much for that. Anyway, so we start the show with the Singapore Grand Prix, which is back. Yes, I have to say, last weekend, yeah, I did a first. Usually during the off weekends, I'm usually watching some kind of old Grand Prix from way back when in the day. Yes, the days of Murray Walker usually is what I'm watching. But last weekend, I went completely cold turkey on Formula One. And I didn't watch a single thing. I didn't do anything in regards. I didn't even play an F1 game, which is quite remarkable for me. But yes, last weekend I was completely Formula One free. Do you know what? I didn't like it. No, I didn't like it. But it was a good break. But anyway, that's enough of that. It's time to move on to the Singapore Grand Prix, which is back this weekend. And of course, for this weekend, they've done some track layout adjustments, and here it is for everyone. So basically it's the sector 3 which they've adjusted. Now I've heard rumours that this is not going to be permanent. Now I'm a little bit surprised at that. I can't think of any situation where they've made alterations to a track and not actually carried it on, you know, into the following years. I've never heard of a situation like that, but yeah, apparently this is only temporary. I mean, we've had circuits with other designs that we've used before. We can remember Bahrain in 2010 when they used the sort of outside layout of the track, and I had to say that that race turned out to be a bit of a bore fest and wasn't very excited at all, so they actually scrapped that idea and didn't go there anymore. Obviously still going to Bahrain, but not going to using that circuit layout. So we've had that kind of thing, but actually making track changes temporary. I mean, it costs a lot of money. We're talking millions here to make any changes to any of the tracks. So to say that it's only going to be temporary, I don't think that's going to be quite right. But anyway, so here it is. You can just see if I'm just pointing at it with my arrow. So this was the old layout. If you remember, you had the sharp right going into the sharp left and then the sharp right again, just past turn 15. Well, that's now been completely removed. So it's flat out now. So this is what they're doing to a lot of these racetracks now, is they're taking away some of the chicanes and making them a lot faster. I mean, like Australia now. Australia, to me, these days just feels a little bit like Monza, to be honest, in places, because it's just, you know, it's just completely flat out. So this is what they've done. So they've altered the layout. Now, this comes from AMG Petronas themselves, Mercedes. So let's just read the top of it. Grand Prix explained. The Singapore Grand Prix, the original night race, since first joining the calendar in 2008, the spectacularly eliminated circuit has wowed fans. It has also thrilled with many memorable races and iconic moments. It's always one of the most anticipated events of the year, no matter the layout, and we've had a few. The original circuit was adapted in 2012 with the removal of the Singapore Sling Chicane. The 2015 turns 11 and 13 were reprofiled. 2019 saw a reprofiling of turns 16 and 17, and plenty of changes then. Yeah, so all these changes have gone ahead on Singapore, but they've never been temporary. They've always been there for like good. So I'm very surprised at these comments about it's only being a temporary sort of solution. And this year has been no different. A significant part of the Marina Bay Street Circuit has been removed for this year's edition. Therefore, the layout of the track and the stresses it puts on different elements of the car has changed. That will be an important factor across the weekend. But what exactly has changed for this year? Well, remember the fiddly double chicane by the river in the final sector? The right-left, left-right sequence that went underneath the grandstand? That's been removed for 2023. It's been replaced by a longer flat-out sequence that completely bypasses it. It may present drivers with a new overtaking place in the new turn 16, which is the old turn 20. These track layout changes decrease the lap length from 5.63 kilometres to 4.928 kilometres and tweaks the lap count for Sunday's race from 61 to 62. Until we run on track, it's hard to fully predict the impact track layout changes will have. That doesn't stop us trying, though. The Vehicle Dynamics Department have been hard at work in the driver in the loop simulator. Thank you, Mercedes. So there you go. That's the new track layout then for this year. Of course, I know the question you're all going to ask, and that is how long will this be before Codemasters adapt it into the Formula One games? I have to say, I think it's pretty much a given that this is not going to appear in this year's game. We're sort of approaching half distance now in September, and the season's only got until November to go before it's finished. There's just not really enough time to warrant, because as we know, changing the track for Codemasters at least seems to be I can't even say that word. A really big effort. So yeah, I can't see it happening. Of course, next year, if the changes are staying, we don't know yet, but it means that next year, of course, we will have the new Singapore layout. But for this year's F1 game, I really can't see it. Unless they do it as a sort of Christmas present, like they do with the F2 cars, where we usually get the current season pretty much around December the 12th. If they do it then, but I can't see the justification, to be honest, because it's just one track. It's just, a few additions, and I can't see it be worth the effort. But definitely for 2024, of course, the new Singapore circuit will be included in the F1 2024 game. Yes. Matthew says, while Sky Sports asking Hamilton about Helmut Marko being racist against Perez, they should be asking Horner. Yes, they should indeed. But there we go. So that's the new circuit layout for Singapore for this weekend's Grand Prix. Let me know your predictions on who you think is going to win the race. I've already had one from Plan Plessis. He says Max Verstappen. There's no point in doing the predictions, really, is there? Because it's a foregone conclusion, really, that Max is going to win the race. If he doesn't, possibly Checo will be up there, hopefully. Hopefully, he's had some good form these last few races, so Checo could be up there. But apart from that, there's no one else to touch them. The Ferrari boys will be doing the same as the Ferrari boys do. The Mercedes boys will be doing the same as the Mercedes boys will be doing, coming 4th, 5th and 6th, mixing it up with whichever Ferrari comes in those positions. The fight for second place and third place is really, really intense, I have to say. It's just a shame that Max is, up there and winning so many, because the actual battles for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 6th places is really exciting, because it's constantly changing, because you've got the Ferrari boys and you've got the Mercedes boys, and the Mercedes and the Ferrari, they're pretty much even at the moment on pace. And I have to say, the driver quality of Russell, Hamilton, Sainz and Leclerc are on a very equal footing. I just can't help but think how much better the championship would be if Red Bull weren't competing. It would be a really exciting championship. But of course, that's unfair to Red Bull. It's unfair to Max, of course, because as I've said before, what are you going to do? Max can't slow down and let the rest catch up. So yeah, well done, Max Verstappen. So in case anyone starts coming at me for hating Max, that's not the case at all. I'm just saying that, the fight between the positions past Max is pretty exciting, and we could have had a really great season this year if the Red Bull dominance hadn't come into effect. But it has, and that's just something we've really got to put up with, I have to say. Really got to put up with. Hello, Mr. Helium Trevor wants to stream. He says, Sky just love listening to Lewis. Yes, I think they do. They do love the Lulu. They do love the Lulu. KDF1, hello sir, what's the screen? Says Marko should be sacked if Vips was for less. Yes, I agree. Helmut Marko is he's what can I say? He's a very old guy, getting on a bit. Possibly some of his views that were sort of given to him when he was a young man don't sort of fit in with today's society. I mean, these are views that a lot of people had. I mean, I go back to the 70s, and I've told you about some of the things that have happened to me, and some of the sort of things that were classed as normal back in the 70s. But unfortunately, you know, in this ever-changing world, you have to adapt or die, basically. So you've got to think very carefully about, you know, what you say. And Helmut Marko, well, you know, he's the boss of Red Bull. He really, you know, he doesn't care what he says, to be honest. He's a bit of a Bernie Ecclestone, has to be said. You know, he doesn't care what he says either, because they've reached an age where what does it matter? What does it matter? Helmut Marko, yeah, he probably should be sacked, but he's not going to be sacked from Red Bull because he practically owns it, doesn't he? So, you know, so that's why he can say what he likes. It's the same reason Bernie Ecclestone can say what he likes, because what's going to happen to Bernie? Nothing's going to happen to Bernie whatsoever. No. So that's what it's like. But as I say, these old guys now coming out with their remarks, you've got to think about what you say now before you say it. But these guys are just, they don't care anymore. They're so old now, they just don't care what they say. But unfortunately, you know, as I say, this is an ever-changing world. It's not a world that I'm too fond of right now because of all the wokeness and everything that's going on, and the censorship as well of the world is really not sitting well with me either. But as I say, you know, this is what we're living in now. So we've got to adapt. We've got to adapt. I don't mean we've got to suddenly, if we're not woke, suddenly start turning woke. I don't agree with that at all. But you've just got to think about what you say before you say it, if that makes any sense. And unfortunately, Helmut Marko, well, he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck. As I say, neither does Bernie. They'll just say what they like until they end up dead, basically, because, you know, none of them are going to last, another 10 years, maybe. I don't know about Bernie. Christ, he must be getting well on by now. So I don't know if he's going to still be around in 10 years. But knowing Bernie, he probably will be, just out of spite. But yeah, so as I say, they're so old, they just say what they like. Say what they like. Helium Trophy says, technically Marko isn't really the employer of Red Bull, just a consultant. Yeah, that's true. That is true. KDF1 says, needs putting in the old biddies home. That's funny you say that. That's what most people say about me. They say, Hookster, no good now. Stick him in the old folks home. Stick him in the old folks home. I mean, Jesus Christ, he's so old now, isn't he? So old. So old. I can remember when my nieces were about, oh God knows, 10 years old, something like that, 10 years old, and they asked me how old I was, and I think at the time I was 35, I think, something like that, 35, and one of them, without any hesitation, just had this horrible look on her face, and she turned around and went, 35? Oh my God, how can you still be alive? It did make me laugh. Yeah, 35. How could you? Because, you know, that's how the younger generation sees older people now, you know. Past 40, you're dead, basically. KDF1 says, Bernie in his 90s like you. Exactly. Yeah. I'll still be here when I'm in my 90s, don't you worry. Hookster talks from the old folks home. Yes. And I'll be going, hey, you bloody perishing kids. And everyone will be shouting at the screen by then, throwing rotten fruit at me, going, hey, shut up, Hookster. Shut up, you senile old bastard. I can see it now. So anyway, getting back on topic slightly. Singapore Grand Prix is back this Sunday. There's the track layout changes, so slight little additions. We will see how it plays out anyway. Right, on to the next story. This is one that's not sitting too well with me whatsoever, and that is, of course, the Felipe Massa story. And now Bernie Ecclestone, yes, who I've just mentioned, has thrown his hat into the ring and has backed Lewis Hamilton. Yes, Lewis Hamilton. This is very surprising from Bernie. It's surprising to me anyway that he's backed Lewis Hamilton, considering they haven't really been the best of friends the last few years. And some of the comments Bernie's made about Lewis seems very weird that he's come out now to back Lewis Hamilton. Anyway, Felipe Massa, as you probably know, is taking legal action over the 2008 F1 World Championship, which was Lewis Hamilton's first title win, after fresh claims from Bernie Ecclestone about that year's Singapore Grand Prix. Former F1 Supremo, yes, former, don't forget, Bernie Ecclestone has thrown his backing behind Lewis Hamilton as the Englishman faces the threat of losing one of his world championships. Hamilton has won 7 in total, but it's his first triumph back in 2008 that has now been thrown into doubt. The then McLaren driver beat Felipe Massa to the title by just 1 point after overtaking Timo Glock on the final lap of the final race of the season. But his title win was drawn controversy for a race held earlier that season in Singapore. Fernando Alonso won that race, with Hamilton coming third as Massa failed to score following a botched pit stop early on. Massa's failure to score points at Marina Bay would later prove crucial in the title fight, but it later emerged that Alonso's win had only come about after his teammate Nelson Piquet Jr. deliberately crashed to cause a safety car. The leaders of the race immediately dived into the pits, with Massa leaving his pit stop while still attached to the fuel pump. Obviously, everyone remembers that iconic scene of Massa leaving with the fuel pump still attached, wrecking his chances of winning. After an FIA investigation, the Renault team were handed a suspended disqualification from Formula One. Meanwhile, team principal Flavio Briatore and chief engineer Pat Simmons, who had ordered Piquet Jr. to crash, were each handed bans from the sport, which were overturned on appeal. The allegations of a deliberate crash came too late for Massa to overturn Hamilton's title win through the FIA, but Ecclestone recently claimed that Massa had been cheated out of winning the World Championship due to Crashgate. In response, Massa announced that he was launching legal action against the FIA, but the former Ferrari star, who never again came close to winning the title, will not have the backing of Ecclestone, who has instead taken aim at the Brazilian. He told Blick magazine the Massa clan only cares about money, but the chances of that happening are zero. Hamilton and Mercedes could have filed a lawsuit against the... And I've got an advert covering up the... There you go. Hamilton and Mercedes could have filed a lawsuit against the FIA after the not very clean 2021 final in Abu Dhabi. Now, I've commented on this in one of my Facebook chats. I'm just going to draw it up on my laptop so I can remember exactly what I said. It was this morning, so it was a long time ago for an old guy. Shut it now, shut it. Where are we? Here we go. Right, so my problem is that Felipe Massa has got a... Let me make myself full screen again so I can emphasise my words better. There you go. Felipe Massa has got a reputation for being a really nice guy. And I do believe if this action goes ahead, that reputation will take a serious battering. I mean, basically, it's like leaving your wife and then 15 years later, she comes back and demands half the house. That's basically what's happening right here. And the other problem I've got, and I apologise to anyone who's watching that I've already posted this in the Facebook because I'm just repeating off what I've said, but here we go. The other problem I have is that if this goes ahead, it will open the floodgates. Hill in 94 with Schumacher. Okay, that'll be claimed that he was cheated out of that championship. Jacques Villeneuve in 1997. Although, in actual fact, he wasn't cheated out of that championship because he still got it. But, you know, it came very close with Michael Schumacher. There could be a debate there. I'm not saying there will be, but, you know, there could be. And just going back to past championships, anyone who has the slightest grievance whatsoever could come back, if this case wins, could come back and have a go. Now, of course, the other problem is that if this does win, then Lewis Hamilton is only going to be a 6 times world champion, which means he's going to be underneath the current record of Michael Schumacher, 7 times champion. So he's going to be behind Michael Schumacher. And Lewis Hamilton, I don't think he's going to be very happy about that whatsoever. So if this goes ahead and it's won for Felipe Massa, I'm 150 million% sure that straight away Lewis Hamilton will counterclaim for the 2021 World Championship just to get his 7th title back again, because, you know, he'll have lost one, but he'll gain one back again if that comes forward. And this, I'm sad to say, could turn into a complete and utter mess, and it's definitely not what Formula One needs. It really isn't. I mean, Formula One's not in a very good state now, but just think of the legal ramifications and how much, like, teams and what have you will get drawn into this. There'll be constant bloody court cases, and if anyone remembers Ayrton Senna from 1994, the fallout from that just went on for years and years. And look what happened to Williams. They were never the same after that. They were never the same. It took them years to recover from that. I mean, Williams getting sent to court for manslaughter at one point by I think it was a Spanish court. Ridiculous stuff like that. But that held Williams back for years and years and years. And if all this comes to fruition, all these teams are going to have to be investigated. They're going to make court appearances, turn up, and oh my God, it's just going to be a complete floodgate of shit, basically. It's going to be dragged up from the past, and it's not going to be good for Formula One. And here's the thing: there has to be a limit. Okay, you can't keep going back. I mean, this is what, 15 years ago. You can't do it. You really can't do it. There has to be some kind of statute of limitation. I mean, for most things, it's like 7 years. If you haven't claimed within 7 years, then, you know, it's dead and buried. And that applies to a lot of things. You know, you've got this 7-year limit. So I'm a little bit surprised they've been allowed to actually, you know, get the lawyers involved and go back and actually get into this claim again. But it's just going to be a complete mess if this actually happens. It really is. And it's going to be really bad news for Felipe Massa. Now, of course, let's flip that on its end and say, yeah, I understand what you're saying, Dave. But on the flip side of that, does Felipe Massa actually deserve that 2008 championship? Well, he probably does. He probably does. But in all fairness, he should have argued that case more in 2008, 2009, 2010. That's what he should have done. He should have really pushed the point home and tried to get that champ. I know it's only because Bernie Ecclestone has come out recently and said that, you know, he was cheated out of the championship. That's fair enough. But still, that should have been sorted in like 3 years after the event. You can't come along. This was 2008. It's now 2023. You can't come along now and say, look, you know, I want that championship back. As I say, otherwise it's going to set a terrible precedent for everyone. Everyone that you can think of in Formula One is going to come out of the woodwork and claim, oh, this was unjust. No, this was unjust. And it's just, it's going to be a complete and utter mess. So half of me would like Felipe Massa to have that championship because I believe he did deserve it. I did deserve it. But at the end of the day, you know, hindsight is a beautiful thing. But yeah, the crash gate was probably what swung the championship. But there's a lot of Grand Prix in the championship. There could, like 19 rounds, I think it was, back in 2008. Any situation could have swung that championship. So you can't really say just on one race that Massa won that championship. You could say like on 4 or 5 races he could have been cheated out of, yeah. But just on one race, you can't. I don't know. You can't really say. that he lost it because of that. So it's a huge smorgasbord, I like that word, a huge smorgasbord of shit that's going to come out over this, and I just think it should be left alone. And as I say, what's happened has happened. I don't agree with it. We all know that Crashgate was done deliberately. We all know that, but the people involved got their punishment. That was Flavio Briatore, who I believe got a lifetime ban from the sport at the time. So, you know, they got their punishment. I do feel for Felipe Massa. I really do. I really do. But, as I say, it's way too long now. And you need to just, you know, the past is the past. And I'm horribly accused of, you know, going back to the past, especially in like Formula One games and how they were, you know, so much better than what they are now. And I still believe that they were. But in this instance, the past is the past, and it should just be left alone now. It really shouldn't. You can't suddenly start deciding world championships 15 years down the line. As I say, 2 years, 3 years, that's fine. That's within the 7 years, you know, statute of limitation that you are required to sort out all this stuff, and that's fine. I haven't got a problem with that. But what, 15, 16 years down the line, no, it shouldn't even be going to court as far as I'm concerned. It should just be left alone. These things happen. These things happen. Well, we've got loads of comments while I was saying that. Right, I'll get to your comments in a moment because I've just got one more thing to talk about. Then we'll move on to Helmut Marko, and then we'll be done. I'll go on to the comments. So this is the last thing I want to talk about, which is unrelated actually to Formula One, which is great news. And I saw this the other day, and I was very excited, not for the game, which I'm sure it'll probably be excellent, but basically for Formula One games in the future. So the upcoming EA Sports WRC title has switched from the Codemasters Ego game engine. Now, as everyone probably knows, the Ego engine was first introduced in 2010 for F1 2010 and has been pretty much used throughout all the Codemasters racing games. The Ego engine was in Grid. It was also used in Dirt as well. It's a development tool. It's a development platform like the GTA games used to have their what was it called? I've forgotten it now. Used to have their ones, but unfortunately it was realised later on that they didn't actually own the rights to that development tool, and they had to give it up and actually develop games in-house themselves, which is what they did with Grand Theft Auto 4. Finally, after a very long time, but that was all developed in-house, because before they used development tools that they borrowed the rights, but actually didn't have the rights to, and then years later they came along and said, no, this is ours, mate, this is ours. And of course they had to give up those rights to those development tools. I'm still trying to think. I had it in my brain earlier, but I can't remember. It was at the beginning of every Grand Theft Auto game back in the early times. GTA 3, GTA Vice City, what was it called? Bloody hell. Oh, I hate getting old. But anyway, that development tool didn't actually belong to Rockstar. They just borrowed it, but they had to give it back. And that's one of the reasons also why the updated GTA, the definitive editions, which a lot of people have complained about, the reason why is because they couldn't go back and use that original development that they had for the old games, because, as I say, they had to spend a lot of money to the people who actually owned it, because they weren't very happy. So they had to actually go back and use the old mobile versions that they'd created, I think about 8 or 9 years after the games first came out. They did them all for mobile, and so they recreated them all, and that was the basis, the actual engine that they used when they made the definitive version, which is why it's not very good, because you're trying to make a bigger game on like a mobile sort of version to start with. So yeah, anyway, that's a little bit off topic. So the Ego engine was used in Dirt, Grid, and the F1 games, and it pretty much hasn't changed all the way through. It's transitioned from PS3 to PS4 and now to PS5, but essentially it is the same game engine. And if you look at the Formula One games, there really isn't much difference. No, it's just updated. The Ego engine's just been updated. There isn't really much difference, but excitement. The new EA Sports WRC title is going to be using Epic's Unreal Engine for the very first time. Not only is it going to increase the stage size, which a lot of people have said is going to be increased to about 20 minutes a stage. Well, that's really going to do your fingers in for us controller players, but congratulations, because I do like the longer stages. I like the 10-minute stages in Dirt Rally 2. They are quite exciting. But 20 minutes, that's great. But that isn't the only reason they've used Unreal Engine. Basically, they just felt that it needed a change up from this Ego engine. But the thing I'm most excited about is, one, they've said that they're going to implant the Dirt Rally physics into the Unreal Engine. So there's going to be no change with the physics that we all love from the Dirt Rally games, which is great news. But I'm more excited for Formula One games in general, because I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that F1 2024 is finally going to use the Unreal Engine. The fact that Formula One has been held back for so many years is unfortunately the fault of the PS4, because they have to make a PS4 version as well. Then they have to basically still use the Ego engine, because you can't, if you're using crossplay, you can't have a PS4 version of the game and a PS5 version of the game running two different engines, because they're not compatible. So basically they've had to use the Ego for the PS4 and the PS5 because they've had to make both versions. I'm hoping that for next year's game they will use the Unreal Engine. This, of course, will be sad news for PS4 players, because it means there won't be a PS4 version. Or if there is, it won't be able to do crossplay. That is a given. But I'm just hoping that this will be adapted. And then finally, we will see a true 21st century upgrade to the F1 games. We will all notice a huge difference. Because I don't know about you, but I pretty much know all the graphics on those F1 games now. They're always the same. Every new one that comes out is almost completely the same. I've got the PS5 version, but I'm only running it through a 1080p TV. It looks exactly the same as the PS4 version, which means that when you actually put it through a 4K TV, all it's doing is upping the resolution to 4K, but the actual game engine is exactly the same, because there is no difference. Obviously, every year they put a few new special effects, like they've got a really nice rain effect on the tyres for F1 23, if anyone's noticed, so that's great. But actually, any fundamental changes, it's all pretty much the same. So yeah, big news, and hopefully that will be transplanted into the new F1 game as well, because I'd love to see F1 2024 with the Unreal Engine. Now, getting back to WRC, I'm hoping that's going to be a great game. I've seen the trailer for it, and it does look pretty exciting. Now, of course, we've come full circle. Because if you remember, the Dirt games, or should I say the Colin McRae rally games, when they started, they had the licensed vehicles, but pretty soon into their life cycle they had to stop using the licensed vehicles, because the WRC license went to someone else and they were using the license, so they had to use sort of mock-ups and road versions of the cars with like liveries that were pretty similar. So for years and years and years, the Colin McRae games couldn't use the official liveries apart from the Colin McRae one. So if he was in the Ford Focus, they were allowed to use that livery because of the relationship with Colin McRae. But for the other teams, they all had to be like lookalikes and, you know, stuff like that. And the names had to be changed as well. You couldn't have the official names. And now we've come full circle, because now it's a Dirt game, which is basically from the ashes of the Colin McRae games, and now it's using the official licenses, the liveries and everything. So it's great news. It really is. I'm just hoping that the game will live up to the promise. If it has got the dirt rally physics in it, then it could be something pretty special. And I'm looking forward, if it's any good, to those 20-minute stages, because that sounds pretty good indeed. So anyway, that was just a little add-on there. Let's go to the comments now. How long have I been on? 45 minutes already. Right, okay. JW97 says, evening, Sir Dave. Hello, Joseph. Welcome to the stream. I'd just like to give a shout out to Joseph. Go check out his new YouTube channel, because he posted his first video the other week, which I was very impressed about, actually. Far better than my shit. And let me see if I can bring it up on the screen. Please excuse me, because it takes a long time when I'm streaming to actually bring up web pages as well. There you go. Let me make myself a little bit smaller. Now, I was accused in my latest WTF1 video of not supporting creators. That's what I was accused of. You can go and read the comment right now if it's still there. Probably is. Yes, I was accused of I should be encouraging WTF1 and, you know, not taking the piss out of them, whatever. And I just came back and said there is no sort of encouragement or cooperation between big YouTubers. It's never happened between the small guys and the big guys. So, you know, there you go. But just to counteract that argument that I never support any fellow YouTubers, which is absolute bollocks. Oh my God, I couldn't count on me 10 fingers here how many people I have supported over my just gone 9 years on YouTube. It's been a lot, and some of these people have gone on to, not as the result of me, obviously. I had nothing to do with it whatsoever, but they have gone on to do some pretty big stuff. Just to name drop, we have Mr. P.S. Luton Rules, who is now the video editor at the Race YouTube channel. Yes. Apparently he's edited over 250 of the Race videos. So well done to Mr. P.S. Luton Rules. Yes. And I used to do a lot of encouragement to Mr. Rules, and a lot of you will know that I actually saved one of his series from disaster by just coming up with a simple idea on how to fix it, and he went through it. Didn't never thank me, but they never thanked me. But that's what I did. So yeah, there you go. That's just name dropping a few of them. But there is also Mr. Joshua Sutil, who is also working at they're all working at the Race, except me. Yes, he also, I interviewed him, bloody hell, years and years and years ago. Years ago. It was a very bad interview from me. Joshua was fine. I was absolutely bloody awful, because unfortunately at the time I was recording it, this was like 7 years ago, I was going through quite a bad period of anxiety. So my interviewing was atrocious, absolutely dire, but it's there in my back catalogue somewhere if you want to try and find it. But my interviewing was, it was appalling. I even put a note at the bottom apologising for how bad my interviewing was. But as I say, I was going through quite a bad time of anxiety at the time, so you know these things happen. But anyway, Joseph JW Talks Motorsport, there he is. Let me make myself tiny smaller so you can't see me almost. There you go. JW Talks, he's done his first video about the greatest rally ever, the Rally New Zealand 2007. Go check him out. Look at that, 91 views. That's pretty decent, I have to say, for 28 subscribers. That is pretty decent. That's a very high view to subscriber ratio, very high indeed. So yeah, go check him out. He's just made this channel up past couple of weeks, I think it is. He got the usual trailer, and then of course his first video, and hopefully he will do more videos in the future. But as I say, I was very, I can't play it unfortunately. I know he wouldn't mind if I did or not, but I can't play it because of YouTube. Probably, you know, do something nasty. So but there it is, JW Talks Motorsport. There you go. Go check him out. Go give him a subscription, and you know, Don't tell him I sent you though. Just do it. Otherwise, you know. But there you go. Little shout out there to someone who never encourages creators. No, I never do. Never do. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's a bit like I don't get upset easily. Otherwise, oh my God. I'd be raging at times. Raging. KDF1 says, I like to think I'm half woke. I like to think I can tell when someone is joking on and when someone is just a bigot. That's true. That's true. Listen, when I say about wokeness, I'm talking about full 100% wokeness. You can't. I don't mind, you know, someone who's like 50% in that direction. I haven't got a problem with that. What I've got a problem with, as I say, is the 100% wokes. The, you know, they've gone so far off to in that other direction, as I call it. You know, but anyone who's, you know, 50-50, yeah, I haven't got a problem with that. I'd like to be more woke. I'd like to be more calmed and chilled as well, which is something I have a huge problem with. But yeah, so yeah, I haven't got a problem with that. But as I say, I have got a problem with the 100% woke brigade, you know. Planet of Plessy says, where's Will F1? Well, hopefully. Oh, there he is. I can see him. He's further down the chat. KDF1 says dead. Finally killed him off. KDF1 says, Bernie actually dating something that makes sense. That world is definitely getting crazier. Yes, it is getting crazier. I agree with you. JW97 says, Dave, beat Felipe Massa. Good evening, says Will F1. Well, good evening to you, sir. Will says Massa never deserved to win the 2008 championship. Well, there you go. There is a counter opinion there that Massa never deserved to win it. I'm not saying he didn't deserve to win it. What I'm saying is that you know, one race I don't think is indicative of him, you know, winning the championship. There was like, I don't know, 19 rounds where, you know, he could have lost it. So one race I don't think, despite what Bernie says, you know, I don't think that's justification for him to win the championship. KGF1 says Massa didn't lose the title because of Singapore. He lost because he wasn't quite good enough. He never has any consistency with results at all in his career. There you go. Massa was only the 5th best driver of 2008. This is true. KDF1 says he was lucky to even be in the fight, given that the FIA deliberately gave him the win in Belgium, as they apparently had a steward who indirectly worked with Ferrari. See, this is what I was saying earlier. Once you start getting all these parameters into place, you know, it's just going to be a complete and utter mess. Who did this? Who said that? Who organised this? Who was in charge of it? It's just, Ferrari favoured Massa over Raikkonen as well. Yes, they did. Lewis should sue Felipe for defamation of name. Well, it could come to that later on. We will have to see. We'll have to see what happens with this court case and whether Felipe is actually going to win it or not. I've just realised something. I am ghostly white. Hang on, I'll fix that. I usually put a little filter on, which I've been doing recently to I can't find it now. It's usually there somewhere. Where's my little filter? Filter? Where are you? I think I've lost it. Not for the first time, says everyone in the chat. I can't find my little filter. Hang on, it's got to be there somewhere. Where are you, little filter? It just stops me looking like a ghost. Shh. Shush now, everyone in the chat. Shush. It's there somewhere. Oh, is that it? There it is. Right, all we do is we turn white balance off. There you go. There you go. How's that, everyone? Do I look a little bit more... the light shines on the head a little bit more, but hopefully I look a little bit more human. Yeah, because I do look like a little bit like a ghost Anyway, let's continue. Plynal Plessy says, also, what's next? Will Senna have to be a 2 times champion after what happened in 1990? Yeah, this is what I said earlier. It's quite true. What is going to happen next? Everyone's going to be, coming out of the closet. And that was a bad term of phrase to use, wasn't it? But you can see my point. I mean, let's go to the ultimate. What about some of the fatal crashes? Could that start to be dragged up and say, oh, well, this driver actually killed... I mean, I don't want to go there. I really don't. That's going too far. That really is. But if this kind of thing goes forward, then who knows what could happen in the future. But, yeah, terrible president. Felipe says he has nothing against Lewis, says JW97. There you go. He Travis says Brazilian. Will F1 Gaming says the FIA even said if Mercedes appealed Abu Dhabi 2020-21, the outcome would still have resulted in Verstappen being champion. What would have happened is Abu Dhabi would be null and void. Well, there you go. And Verstappen would win on countback. Massa was never a championship caliber driver, says Will F1 Gaming. JW97 says to say he was lucky to be in that title fight is just wrong. He should have won at Hungary, should have won in Singapore, because without Piquet crashing, that pit stop would never have happened. Post-accident agree, pre-accident disagree. There you go. Yeah, a lot has been said about, of course, Felipe Massa's accident and the fact that he was never the same afterwards, which was true. It was true. And that accident was such a... It could quite easily have turned into a Michael Schumacher accident because it was still a head injury at the end of the day. So he was very, very lucky to escape from that, but not too lucky in his career after that, it has to be said. Massa made a lot of mistakes, says Will F1 Gaming. Ferrari favoured Massa and Ferrari had by far the best car. As did Lewis. That's what happens when you're in a title fight. Look at 2021. Lewis made mistakes, as did Max. Will says Max didn't make many mistakes at all in 2021. Hamilton made loads of mistakes. No, but he did make mistakes. They're having a little conversation in my chat here. I love it, absolutely love it. This is what I come on here for. So you've got a platform to vent on, even if it's not including me. I don't mind. The British Grand Prix showed Massa was never good enough to win a championship. Briatore's ban was changed, I believe, in 2013. Oh, it was it? I didn't know that. Max mainly made mistakes in races where Mercedes were quicker. By that logic, Lewis was never good enough because Bahrain and France. I love it. It's getting heated now, lads. It's getting heated in the chat. I love it. Felipe didn't deserve it. Crashed his brains out in Australia, spun in Malaysia, spun 99 million times in Silverstone and took Lewis out in Japan. TB, they're having a fight in my chat, TB. They're having a fight in my chat. TB loves a good old tussle, don't you? Yeah, loves it, he says. Loves it. I don't even like Hamilton that much, but deserved the 2008 title over Massa. There's no question in my mind. He was good enough. He would have won the championship comfortably. Massa bottled Monaco as well. Exactly. Yes, that as well. Lewis should have been in that position in the first place if he didn't cock up turn 1. Massa was lucky to win in France as well. I agree with that because Kimi's exhaust cracked open. Ferrari screwed Raikkonen in 2008 with car development. It's all going on in the chat now. Wow. No offence, but I hate it when people say that. It gives the same vibes that certain fans made when people said Lewis was winning because he had the best car. There you go. There you go. Or Max only wins because he has the best car. You can have the best car, but you still need a good driver to get the best out of it. Massa was a brilliant driver before his accident. He was never the same after his accident. Massa bottled the 2008 championship. Massa was a good driver, not brilliant. They did screw Kimi as they wanted issues to get him out so they could get Alonso in and subsequently sponsor money from Santander. I don't believe in that conspiracy theory. They wouldn't have let him win the title in 07 if that was the case. It's literally 100% true. It isn't though, is it? It's a conspiracy theory. Fight, fight, fight. Should we do the old Harry Hill bit? Yeah. Who would win in a fight between Will F. Gaming and JW 97? Well, let's find out. Fight! Love it. That was before the financial crisis, though, which left F1 teams scrambling for extra cash. You have no proof, just someone's word. Even the bigger ones were struggling. Matthew 7657, who's trying to get off the subject, says Hookster is underrated in qualifying on F1 games, but overrated on the races. You lack race lap time consistency. That's very true. I do agree. They dropped Raikkonen a year early to get Alonso in for 2010. Also, this new WRC game will be absolutely crap. Just watch. Thank you, Mr. KDF1. Thank you. Love it. Absolutely love it. Ferrari wanted to please Santander. That's correct, but it doesn't mean they screwed Kimi. Kimi didn't help himself either. It's EA. It's never going to be any good. That is true. That is true. That is true. But it is developed by the Dirt Rally guys. So if they could just have told EA to bugger off and not interfere, it might be semi-good. I'm not going to say it's going to be good, but semi. Just a little bit. Just a little bit good. That will do for me, because I'm getting a bit fed up with Dirt Rally 2 now, because it's been out a few years. So anything sort of different from that. But we will see. We will see. I'm excited for the fact that you can actually build your own rally car from the ground up. That sounds pretty exciting. I mean, you know, the F1 games, it's just like developments onto an existing car, isn't it? So you can't really build a car. But this apparently is you basically, you've got a blank sheet of paper and you start and you build it from there. So that could be pretty exciting. But yeah, all right, it'll probably be shit. Ferrari developed the car exactly as Massa liked it. Matthew says it will cost £80 within the next 2 years. Yes. WRC games went to Big Ben Studios after Codemasters the first time around. That's true. Never had the WRC games. Oh, Codemasters never had the WRC game. There's a counterpoint. There's a counterpoint. No, actually, he's right. Yes, no, Codemasters have never had the WRC games. That's because they had the Colin McRae and the Dirt games. So yes, no, they've never had the official license. I mean, the latest ones from 2015 was it Clayton Studios? But there was another studio that took it over from WRC on the PS2. I remember that one. I'm sure that was done by someone different. Then you had WRC2, WRC3, and WRC4. I'm sure that was a different studio than the ones before Codemasters. But no, he is correct. Codemasters have never had the WRC license. They have had licensed cars in the original Colin McRae rally had the licensed cars, but they lost the ability to use those when the WRC game started. The first WRC game, I think, was the PS2 one, wasn't it? WRC World Rally Championship. Was that the first official one? I can't remember any on the PS1, to be honest. Not official ones. I know there was some out there, but they were like based on like 3 years, previously, and they didn't feature all the up-to-date cars. So you can't really say that was. It didn't actually have the official WRC stamp on it. So I think the PS2 version was the first one that was actually an official WRC game. But that was nothing to do with Codemasters. Nothing to do with Codemasters. And I say, poor Codemasters, they lost huge ground there, not being able to use the official stats for WRC. Because they had it in Colin McRae 1, and then Colin McRae 2 was... Did that have the official cars in it? I think it did. But I remember it was Colin McRae 3 on the PS2. Yeah, because that would have been when WRC would have started. Colin McRae 3, apart from the Ford Focus, which was the official car and livery, all the other cars were just road versions of the cars. And all they did was they put looky-likey liveries on. And all the drivers' names were changed. That was for Colin McRae 3. After Colin McRae 3, all the rally games after that couldn't use any of the licensed cars from WRC because they had the license and they weren't allowed to use them. I remember that. So yes, you're correct on that point. Thanks for the compliment. Matthew says, if Hookster hits my Aston at Monaco, I'll manipulate his TV bed to turn against him. You'll have to manipulate him. He turns against me all the time, the little bastard. Yeah, because he is a WTF1 fan, which is ridiculous, and his favourite driver is Lewis Hamilton. I still to this day can't work out why. No, can't get it. KDF1 says the Colin McRae games were the de facto WRC game. Oh, he's removed that message. After Sony gave up with it anyway. Mr. Rules. Your interviewing is still atrocious, says KDF1. Well, thank you. Yes, I like to keep the trend going. Yes, I like to keep the trend going. Will says, yes, he is still rubbish. Oh, you know what? The love I'm feeling right now from you guys out there in the chat, it warms my heart. It warms my heart. I come on here just for the abuse. Yes. Yeah, that's all I come on here for. Yes, it's just the abuse. When are we going to have calls? I don't know. I haven't actually checked that part's still working yet, so that should be fun. Josh has lost the plot. It'll take about an hour answering comments, so probably not tonight. You're right. Dave, the day you are calm and chills, the day I become the president of Luxembourg. That's true. That's very true indeed. Jadon just want to clarify, I never said Massa should get title back because that would set a bad precedent. My point is he was a worthy championship contender. Anyways, get on with the calls once you get down here, Dave. Ron Dennis could feel aggrieved for 1989, Prost 1990, Hill 1994, Hamilton 2021. Before it gets too late. Matthew says, do you feel like a big YouTuber now you've got 1,800 subscribers? That is a lot of people when you think about it. Oh, I do, Matt. I do. I feel epic. Yes, I feel epic. And, I have changed. When people contact me now, I was like an eager beaver, and I was very quick to reply. I was like, oh, because basically it was just like, everybody, please love me, please love. And so I was very quick to these days I'm sort of more I'll leave it a bit, because I don't really need to reply, do I? Really, because do I need to? Now I'm a big YouTuber, do I need to reply? No, I'll just let it chill a bit and then I'll reply. So that's what I'm like these days, yeah. If anyone doesn't know, by the way, I'm in a sort of competition. Well, in my head, with Mushy Gaming or Dan Bartlett, he's almost at 2K subs, and I'm trying to beat him before he gets to 2K. I'm on 1.8, so I'm a little bit behind. So yeah, just get your friends, your family, your dogs, your cats, goldfish. If they can touch the subscribe button with their little noses, don't get the tablet wet though. Don't get the phone wet, please. Otherwise, you'll all be coming at me saying, I got electrocuted because you told me to hit the subscribe. You told my goldfish to hit the subscribe button. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Maybe bring little goldfish up onto the surface and put him on the kitchen worktop for a couple of minutes. It'll be okay. They can breathe air for about 5 minutes out of the water, so he'll be okay. So quickly, while he's out of the water and he's sitting on the kitchen worktop, just get your tablet and say, press subscribe. Just put it up to his little nose till he hits the subscribe button, and there you go. I've got Goldie the Goldfish as a new subscriber to my channel, and I'll be ever grateful. Don't forget to put him back in the bloody water though. I don't want people coming back at me and going, you killed my goldfish, you killed my goldfish. Oh God. When I was a kid, I had about 12 goldfish. Yeah, I was actually very young and naive back in my youth, and I actually thought that goldfish could regenerate, and they could change their colours, and certain parts of the goldfish could actually change its colours, because sometimes my goldfish had a different coloured tail. Sometimes it had sort of a white tail, sometimes it had sort of a goldy tail, and this went out. This went on for years. This went on for years, absolutely years, and I thought it's amazing how goldfish can regenerate like that. Yeah, and then years later, my mum said, no, that wasn't the case at all. They all died after about 3 months, and I flushed them down the loo and then put you a new one and didn't say nothing. Thanks, Mum. That was really nice of you. Yeah, really nice of you. I was devastated. Absolutely devastated. Anyway, so yeah, get your goldfish to hit the subscribe button so we can beat Dan Bartlett, Mushy, whatever he calls himself. I'm not so sure. I think he's got a split personality because I don't think he knows what he's called. But anyway, yeah, so if we can beat Dan Bartlett to 2K subscribers, well, it's only 200 subs away, isn't it? If I'm on 1800, 200 subs away. 200 subs away. So if you can do that, and I'll be eternally grateful. You might all get a free cookie. Everyone who subscribes, next 200 people gets a free cookie. Yeah. You will have to go to your local cookie merchant and buy the cookie yourself, but you can say to yourself, I got this from Hookster. He said I could have a free cookie, so I've got it. There you go. Bargain. Absolute bargain. Personally, I don't think it will get overturned. If anything has to come of it, probably just compensation. That's true. Massa spent the rest of his race in Singapore moaning and even had a spin as well. Scott, hello, sir. Lewis I can't talk now. Lewis deserves Hookster's title in the all seasons on F1 2020 and Max on F1 2020. Here we go. Let's all talk about the scripted all seasons. That isn't scripted. No, it's not scripted. No. I refuse. No. Listen. You have to remember, I watch from the best. I learnt my trade from Mr. Araver. Yes, Mr. Araver. And as you can see, none of his videos are scripted. They are carefully crafted masterpieces. And I watch every single second of every single episode. In fact, every time Araver uploads, doesn't matter what I'm doing. No, even if I'm doing some urgent personal business, I stop immediately. Put on the YouTube and watch the latest Araver exciting instalment of My Team, or I'm playing F1 98 on a PC, or anything like that, or I made Pastor Maldonado a world champion and gave him omen looking eyes but didn't get many views. Anything like that, I am there, absolutely there. Yes, because that man, to us F1 YouTubers, he's like God. He's like Jesus. Yes. He's just like that Top Gear episode where they found little Stig in his little cot in Bethlehem. That's just what Araver is like to us F1 YouTubers. He is the God. He is the platform that we all look up to and aspire to. And don't forget his most famous saying at all, when comparing himself to smaller F1 YouTubers. He said this, yes. And I'm going to quote exactly what he said because it needs to be said. So he said of himself, compared to smaller YouTubers, the cream always rises to the top. We are not worthy, Mr. Araver. We are not worthy. Great man indeed. Love that guy. Scott launched an investigation. There's actually a playlist of every Harry Hill on YouTube, including the pilot episode from Christmas 2001. Fantastic. And Dave had to do another 4 seasons all with 100% races. Not happening. We'll be back after the break. Good plan, Will F1. Bring back TV Burp. I will, don't worry. I'll bring it back. When there's something exciting to talk about, there isn't WTF1, which is no longer exciting to talk about. Despite the views, it's still not exciting to talk about. Don't have expectations for EA's WRC game, given EA like to destroy every other franchise. This is true. We will see, everyone. We will see. Plump says Evolution Studios did the old WRC. Thank you. We got it. We got there eventually. Evolution Studios, who, of course, went on to do. What was that one on PS4 they did? The club? No, something like that. Yeah. I remember it. Can't remember the name of it properly. Was it the club? No, I can't remember. Anyway, they went on to do that game. Then they disbanded. Unfortunately, the studio was shut, and they were actually brought by by Codemasters, and they took over a lot of the employees. So in actual fact, it could still be Evolution Studios doing the WRC games again before they lost it to Clayton or whatever it is, who's been doing it recently. So once again, it's sort of come full circle. So that's quite funny. Yes. What was that game called? I had it on PS4. It was one of the first games on PS4. The club? Hang on, it's annoying me now. PS4 racing game. Was it called the club? I can't remember. Drive Club! Yes! Fantastic! Wowzers. Wowzers me trousers. I actually remembered something. Let me get myself out of the way. Where is it? There it is. Right to the left of me. Drive Club. There you go. That was done by Evolution Studios. That was a really decent game, I have to say. Unfortunately, it was terribly supported, and for years it was sort of drifting off into the wilderness because no one was sort of adding bits to it or whatever. But that was a fairly decent game. That was Evolution. As I say, after that, or a few years after that, the studio pretty much was closed down, and it was brought out by Codemasters. They took over the studio, in fact, and that's why there's now 2 studios in Birmingham to hold everyone that does the racing games. So yeah, that's sort of come full circle again, which is quite good to see, I have to say. There you go. Let me make myself bigger again. Oh, matron! They did the WRC games from 2001-2005. If the all seasons goes to season 4, it has to be 100%. The threat, if he doesn't 100% on the F1 2001 EA Sports version around Monaco with pannies or that's not happening. That's not happening. God, I still get ringing in my ears from that blue flags. Move over from the car behind and prepare to slow down. Oh, sorry, anyway, I can't remember. Jesus. No. Fun fact, because Codemasters were making the Colin McRae games, it meant the official WRC games couldn't have Colin McRae in the game. That is correct. Yes. Which was very weird. Very weird. Well, sort of. I mean, we had Colin in the game, but none of the other drivers. Like you had Zander Cantalube, I think, was Sebastian Loeb, wasn't it? You remember him? Spelt with an X. I think that was in Colin McRae 3, I think. Yeah, Zander Cantalube was Sebastian Loeb. All the other drivers were just made up names, apart from Colin McRae. But as you say, yeah, in the WRC they couldn't have. They had all the other driver names, but not Colin McRae. Very weird. Very weird. So what was his? Hang on, I think I've answered my own question in the comments. I was going to say, what was his name then if it wasn't Colin McRae? Primal Places, I think he was known as Full Driver. There you go. Bit like driver number 1 in the F1 games. WRC 1, they changed his name to Full Driver. WRC 2 Extreme, they replaced him with Francis Duval. And WRC, they never included him and instead made the Citroën team a 2-car team instead of a 3-car team. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's not good, is it? The Colin McRae Rally 3 menu music sounds too much like the WRC 2 one. WRC 2 had a Chemical Brothers song. They had 2 Chemical Brothers songs on WRC 2 Extreme. The WRC game, my favourites are 3, 4 and 5 on PS2. Yes, I agree. Come with us for the intro and guitar for the menu music. Jado said basically like Villeneuve, except the game with his name wasn't as shit. That's true. Jack Villeneuve's Racing Challenge. Who remembers that? What a great game that was. Straight out of the mind of Jack Villeneuve. All I can say is what bloody drugs was he on at the time? Because that game was just absolutely cacking awful. Yes. Also, calls, Dave, calls. My French Bulldog refuses to subscribe. Well, that's outrageous. Have you got his paw right now in the right position? Just hit the subscribe button with his paw. I don't mind who subscribes, you know. Animal, vegetable or mineral. So if you've got any broccoli in your fridge, get them to subscribe. Yes, I don't mind having a piece of broccoli as a subscriber. No, these days I'll take what I can get. And broccoli counts as a subscriber. As long as the stem touches the subscribe button without any assistance. I mean, obviously you've got to put the phone very close to the piece of broccoli, but as long as it touches without you assisting, that means that subscribers come from the broccoli, not you. And it counts. There's nothing YouTube can do about it. Yes, so I'd like to be subscribed, please, by a piece of broccoli. Yes. Dan is 0.03k away from 2k. Is he? Bastard. 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 I did well though. I got about 25 subs from my last WTF1 video. Yeah, I gained about 25 subs for that, so I was pretty happy about that. Well, nice one, nice one. But must still do more. Must still do more. I'll get him, lads. Don't you worry. I'll get him. I think he comes from Yorkshire, which absolutely demands that I beat him anyway. So there you go. 5 Rally Evolved had Kasabian for the intro. Nice. Goldfish, says KDF1, are the most pathetic pets in existence. I have to agree. They are pretty pathetic. They are pretty... But, you know, for a young lad when he's only about 7 years old, they are the most ideal pets. They are, because they don't need much looking after. You know, you just have to clean the tank out, I don't know, once a week, twice a week. I can't remember how often... Basically, when it starts to look grubby and you start to see the green mould going around the outside, that's when you clean the tank out, usually. So, yeah, but apart from that, so refilling the tank with water, clean the tank out, which used to take about 30 minutes, like that. They're really not that difficult. And feed them, but the feeding's easy. Just stick that goldfish feed in the top and it sinks down to the bottom. Just do that every day. That takes seconds. Seconds. I wish I could cook my dinner as quick as I used to feed my goldfish, because it's ridiculous. Yeah, that's what I should do for dinner. Just sprinkle the food in. Those were the days. Get Josh up to 2. No, absolutely not. I refuse. I forbid it. Coles. Dan Bartlett is his channel name. There you go, Dan Bartlett. My dog refuses to subscribe. This is outrageous. What is going on with these pets tonight? Look, just get the paw, touch it onto the phone or the tablet or whatever you got handy. As long as the animal's done it, cancel the subscriber. You can send me the money for the cookie. I will do, indeed. I will do. Interview with Will's dog statement. Bark, bark, bark. That's highly accurate. However, scripts is everything. Outrageous. Outrageous. What? Our God and mentor scripts? No, I don't believe it. Unless I see firm evidence in every single of his videos, I will not believe it. I will not believe it. Any more WTF1 milking videos coming soon? Of course. But, you know, the milking teat, it has to mature these days. I can't just keep chucking them out every week like I was doing. Although the reason for that was because there was lots to chuck out. But unfortunately now they are starting to cotton on to me, and they've started deleting all their old content. If you go to their Twitch channel at WTF1 on Twitch, you will see that all their past live streams have been deleted. Yes, and that's where I got all of my content from. But the videos I did are still on my channel, and they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. But all the content that I used to get off the Twitch streams has been now deleted. Yes, now they've left one video up, which is an old Matt and Tommy WTF1 video. I've no idea why they've left that one up. Probably just to keep the channel alive, because they haven't been on Twitch for months and months and months. They're not even on YouTube anymore because they've gone to Facebook for doing their live stuff. So yeah, they just do shorts and long factor videos on their actual channel, which is weird. But yes, when the opportunity comes along, there will be more milking from the WTF1 teat, because there's still a little bit more to get out of it. A little bit more. Josh scripted his F1 2020 Lola career mode. Really? That's outrageous. I'm going to call the YouTube police. Your dog, also known as your girlfriend. Whoa! Whoa! Calm down, calm down. Wow, you can have live subtitles on this. The YouTube man and woman must be watching. Yes, yes. And if you are watching, Mr. YouTube woman, call me. Call me right now. Yes. Just call me, because I'm desperate. Yes, desperate. If you're nice looking with very big boobies, possibly all the way down to your knees, give me a call. Give me, because you're the kind of girl I'm looking for. So yes, well done, Mrs. YouTube. That's it. That's it. I've just been banned from YouTube now for saying that, but there you go. Calls, Dave, calls. That reminds me, I remember that one stream of Dave trying to replicate the Hesketh livery on one of his recent F1 games. Can't remember how many minutes it took a... Yes, that was one of my funnier streams. Basically, because as everyone knows, I am colourblind. And all the colours didn't look how I thought they looked. And oh my God, it was like a rabbit caught in the headlights. You wanted to look away, but you couldn't. Trying to, just watching this old man with colour blindness, trying to sort out Hesketh colours, when the colours that he was looking at aren't actually the colours that are on the screen, because he's colourblind and he can't see certain colours. It was epic. It was an epic disaster, but it was epic, yes. Drive Club, yep, we got it. Thank you, Lionel Plessy. Jean Dennis Delatrace is a better driver than... Well, that's true. Drive Club was Evolution Studios, yes. Taki Inui is a better driver than Hookster. That's also true. Giovanni Lavargi is a better... That's also true. Calls, Dave, calls. I'm getting there. It was Milestone that brought back the WRC games in 2010. Clayton then got the rights in 2015, yeah. It's called Drive Club, you sponge. Thank you, KDF1. And it was thoroughly mediocre from what I've heard. It was a very early PS4 game. It was okay. It was okay. Yeah, it wasn't brilliant, but it was okay. But a lot of the trouble with it was it had no love, you know, from anyone, really, which was a shame. Because potentially it had quite a lot of potential, but it just didn't come to fruition. Uj Ej is a bit... Yes. Alex Young, yes. Jolly and Palmer, I dispute that. Lickers Latifi, I dispute that as well. There was a launch game, so it was like launch game, so it was 40 quid demo. Yeah, that's what it was. Tosso Rossi is a better driver, I agree. Sakon Yamamoto, yes. Toyota, yes. Marcus Winklehop, yes. Andre, yes. Eduardo Mont, yes. I've never heard of that one. Cole Trickle is a better driver than... Yes. Absolutely. 5 times over. Ricky Bob, yes. James Matt, absolutely. My opinion, Sebastian Loeb, best driver in the world. Agreed. Logan Sargent, yes. Lance Stroll, no. Magania Raganathanam is a no. Alistair Della, yes. Engelbert Humperdinky Face is a bit, yes. Speaking of drivers not being licensed, in NASCAR 07 and 08, Carl Edwards, who drove the 99 car, wasn't in the game as he was licensed to a plug-and-play game. Wowzers. Plug and play. It came from Villeneuve's head. It was never going to be anything other than pretentious crap, was it? No, it wasn't. Absolutely. Anyway, calls, Dave, calls. Chanok Nizuri is a better driver than Hookster. True. You'll set him off again. However, always gets his calculator out every race. Enrique Bernaldet, yes. I don't use Twit, yet I still have it downloaded. No one of interest to watch, that's true. Josh scripts his crawl walls. Yes, he does. Josh scripts his appearances with the lottery winners. Yes, he does. I think that goes without saying. Serious question here. Will an episode of All Seasons ever be live streamed? Just wondering. No, because he can't script it that way. Bastards! 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 Unfortunately, for the reasons that Will gave, uh, it wouldn't be possible for me to do an all seasons live. No, no, no. Because all the drama and the excitement comes from the absolutely stupendous editing. That's where all the drama and the excitement comes from. Without that, it would probably be quite a boring video. So it needs the editing process to really make it the perfection that it is every week. Yes. So unfortunately, I don't think I could ever do it live. That's definitely quote of the day. That is no, because he can't script it that way. Calls. WTF Wine's a better driver than Hookster. Calls. KDF Wine's a better. Yes, he is. Scott Bart. Yes. The Motor Yorkshireman. Yes. Mia Khalifa is a better driver than Hookster. Yes, she is. There's other things she's better at as well, but we'll leave it there. Randy, yes, he is. Gomez, yes. Carmen, yes. Dom, yes. My dog. Hannah is a better driver. No. You go watch her video with her driving on one of the F1 games. You will see. Yes. That is factually incorrect. Right. Oh, Helmet Marco. Sorry, run out of time, Matt. I'll answer it later. Otherwise, I'm going to get completely mullered here. Right, I don't even know if these calls are going to work because I didn't test it before I came on here. Like you do. But we'll give it a try. La 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 la. La 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 la. Stand by, everyone. It's that time of the week when I've got to do 14 things at once, and for an old man that's physically impossible. And of course I'm live streaming and trying to connect to Facebook at the same time, and that's when my computer says no. Actually, my computer's not that old. It's a 2017 model, but in today's standards, that's basically a computer from the Napoleonic Wars. Yes. 2017? Oh my god. So it's not that old, but it's definitely old enough to be very, very slow. Right, here we go. Let's put that over there. Da, 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 da. Get rid of a few people. Oh no, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Unbelievable. There it is. Something went wrong. Which means I'd have to restart the computer to get that working. And sometimes it still doesn't work. I've no idea. I really must get. I must get some kind of video messaging app that is still free and works, because Messenger is definitely not one of those apps that works. So unfortunately, I'd have to restart the stream, so I can't do that. I'll give it one more try, but I don't hold out much hope. Stick that over there. Actual fact, let's go to a smaller chat that hasn't got more than 8 members in it. There we go. Let's try calling that one. La la la. Ah. No. Sorry everyone. It's buggered up. It's buggered up. Yes, it has. And I've got no way to fix it while I'm live on air. Oh dear. Facebook Messenger is a better driver than Hookster. Not at the moment it isn't, because it won't bloody connect me to outside calling. But there you go. Lee McKenzie is a... Yes. Natalie Pinkerton. Yes. Dave will probably end up in jail. Oh, for fuck's sake, Facebook. Yeah, I know. Fred is a better driver than Hookster. This is true. This is true. So, because we can't do that, I will end with Matthew's comment about Helmut Marko. Now, I've seen some rumblings, but I haven't actually seen what the story's about. Helmut Marko and Sergio Perez. Let's go to The Guardian, because no doubt they'll have the full inside scoop, as it's The Guardian. So, Lewis Hamilton, Lulu, calls Red Bull's chief criticism of Sergio Perez unacceptable. Helmut Marko has apologised for offensive comments. We have work to do to make this a more inclusive environment. Lewis Hamilton has condemned offensive comments made by the Red Bull Motorsport advisor Helmut Marko about Sergio Perez, and insisted that despite his subsequent apology, they were completely unacceptable. I hope somewhere in this writing he's going to say exactly what he said, because I'm not 100% sure what the remark was. As Formula 1 prepares for this weekend's Singapore Grand Prix, Red Bull's Max Verstappen also took a swipe at Hamilton's Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff, demanding that he focus on his task rather than demeaning their rival's success. Marko caused considerable offence when he made comments about the team's Mexican driver, who has been underperforming this season. Let's remember, oh dear, here we go. Let's remember that he is South American and so is not as focused as Max Verstappen or Sebastian Vettel was, he said of Perez. Oh, right. So it wasn't it wasn't actually a racist slur. It was more of a slur of the country he comes from, which of course is Mexico. And everyone who knows with Mexico, it's like they have the siestas, where they stop in the afternoon for about 4 hours before they resume work. A lot of that due to the fact that it's very, very hot in the afternoon. But yeah, so that's basically what he's saying. I've actually had a relative who went to Mexico and said that is exactly what happens. You do get to like the afternoon and everything just shuts down completely. It's like a ghost town. If you're in the town, it just go away, Range Rover. I can't afford you, can I? Not on my YouTube salary. Yeah, they said it just it's like a ghost town. It completely shuts down for about 3 or 4 hours in the afternoon and then comes back to life again. So, yeah. The Red Bull advisor has since apologised publicly and privately to the 33-year-old, acknowledging the remark was offensive. But Hamilton, who has worked to combat discrimination in F1, was unequivocal that it was not good enough from such a senior figure. It is... Shall I do it in my Lulu voice? It is completely unacceptable. That is not something you should apologise for, and it is all okay, he said. Whilst we say there is no room for any type of discrimination in this sport, and there should be no room for it, we have leaders and people in this position making comments like this is not good for us moving forward. There are a lot of people in the background that really are combating these kind of things, but it's hard to manoeuvre if people at the top have mindsets which stop us from progressing. But it is not my team and not how we move as a team. We still have a lot of work to do to make this a more inclusive environment. Speaking before this weekend's meet at the Marina Bay circuit, Perez's teammate Verstappen was dismissive of comments made by Wolff after the Dutch driver took a record 10th consecutive win at the last round in Monza. Wolff had dismissed his achievement as irrelevant in the aftermath of the race, where his drivers and was blunt in his response. I remember, yeah, he said it would be on Wikipedia, didn't he? He said, but nobody ever reads that. Well done, Donald Wolff. Well, I mean, that's just, I can't see what Max's grievance for that is, to be honest. That was just, a flippant little comment from Toto. There's nothing really to get out of your pram about. That basically is what I'm saying about going too woke. You're going way too much to the left-hand side of wokeness if you're getting offended by what Toto was saying. That was just an off-the-cuff remark from Toto Wolff saying about, yeah, we'll all see it on Wikipedia, but nobody ever looks at it anyway. That was nothing to write home about. Now, of course, the Helmut Marko thing, yeah, because you're actually attacking someone's birthplace and the people of Mexico as well. You're saying that basically it will never be as good because all Mexicans are lazy. Basically, that's what Helmut Marko's saying. So what should come of it? I don't know. We'll find out later on. I don't think it should be blown out of all proportion, to be honest. I think there should be a measured response to it. So I can't see Helmut Marko being sacked or even let go as a consultant just over this remark, because as we know, other people have made remarks far worse than that. I won't go into that, but they have made remarks far worse than that. So yeah, we will see what happens. We will see what happens. Mexico isn't in South America. Needs to retake geography, Marco. That's true. Mexico isn't in South America. No, you're right. Yes, you're right. Jess McFadden is a better. No. Don't you come on here, young man, with your Jess McFadden wokeness. I won't have it. I will not. I will. Has she got a YouTube channel? Just out of interest. Don't think she has, because she works for Autosport, doesn't she? I'm sure she had one at some point. Let's put it in. Jess McFadden, there you go. Let's see what comes up on the wonderful world of YouTube. Jess McFadden's missed contact while in prison. I don't think that's the Jess McFadden I'm on about, is it? No. So you have to be careful when you put things into YouTube, because this is. I could have got the spelling wrong. Let's put in. Did you mean Jess McFadden? No, that's still not right, is it? Oklahoma House of Horror? No. It is Jess McFadden, isn't it? Let me go back a bit, see if anything comes up. Jess McFad. Oh, is that her name? Is it that silly McFadden name? Is that it? Oh, there it is. I know she was on the last lap about a year ago. I remember watching that video while she left Autosport for WTF1. But has she actually got... What's this? Jess McFadden behind the wheel of a race car? What on earth is she doing behind the wheel of a race car? And more importantly than that, what's she doing out of the kitchen? Yeah. Why is she making me a bacon sandwich with lots of ketchup, please? Thank you very much. Jess McFadden behind the wheel of a race car. Wow. Jess McFadden on the rise of women in F1. Wow. The Cool Down Podcast. Why I left WTF1. Wow. Oh, that was a year ago. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 2019. 20 That doesn't look like she's actually got a YouTube channel. F1 intros, part 32, Monaco Racing Simulator. Who's that strange chappie? Never heard of him. Never heard of him. You try driving with something up your bum? What? 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 A chat with Jess McFadden. Wow. I couldn't think of anything more torturous than a chat with Jess McFadden, to be honest. I really couldn't. Oh dear. That doesn't look like she's got her own channel, but as I say, she works for Autosport now, doesn't she? So the unplanned F1 chat. Wow. Oh look, there's Andre Harrison. Wow. Fantastic. Right, on that note, it's time for me to wrap up the stream. Let's have a look at the... Knowing Max, he wouldn't have given it a second thought. Probably just trying to shut the journalist up, that's true. Hookster results and titles are just for YouTube. Jess McFadden is the GOAT. Shush, Will, shush. Jess McFadden for Prime Minister. Not really the type of person who gets stuck up over comments, usually just directly dismissed any of them. True. Ah, he's looking for one of his crushes. Be quiet, Will, be quiet. You'll get me into trouble, for one thing. Boris Johnson is a better driver than Hookster. Or is that pushing it? No, I think you're correct. Difficult to narrow them down. Daddy Pig is a better driver than Hookster. Nigel Farage is a... Yeah. Cutie Jess McFadden, exactly what Dave... Shush, Will. She'll probably would give you a sandwich with vegan bacon. Yes, she would. Fucking vegan bacon. Fucking vegan bacon. Fuck off. Jesus, I can't think of anything worse than vegan bacon. I mean, what is even the point in vegan bacon? For fuck's sake, bacon is it's a lovely thing. It's a natural thing. It's it's part of our lovely piggy wiggy, and we love bacon. But vegan bacon, what the? Don't tell me it's made from tofu. It must have been made from tofu. Liz Truss is a better true. Ariana Bravo is a better driver than Hookster. Yes, I bet she is. Eddie Jordan, yes. Nobody is a better... That's true. Brum is... Yes. Mr. Potato Head. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bob the Builder. Absolutely. Plan to do a new series on Josh's Crawl Room. Only a three-parter, but no one the drivers but the broadcasters and one person angry. Be my most. Nice. Mr. B is a better... Yes. But not Crofty. Can anyone guess? Oh, I can't guess. I can't guess, Scott. I really can't. Teddy is a better... Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Well, apart from Russia 2016. But we'll gloss over that. Naomi Schiff. Yes. Clue. She's... Naomi Schiff. Oh, God, I can't stand that woman. Noddy is a cartoon character, you plum. Martin as well, perhaps. I hate her so much. Me too. Me too. I can't stand Naomi Schiff. Really can't. Really can't. Thank God she's on Sky and I can't get Sky. That's all I'm going to say. Thank God. Thank God, because she really... She gets right on my tits. She gets right on my tits. It's an old saying from the 80s, lads. She gets right on my tits. She does. That Naomi Schiff. Oh, my God. Wow. Just irritating. Annoying voice as well. Oh, please. Please, no. Please. No. But saying that Ariana Bravo, I'm getting very impressed with her style of presenting. She actually seems to know what she's talking about, which is unlike the other 99% of people on WTF1. Oh, let's get a dig in there. But yeah, she actually seems to know what she's talking about. So the Channel 4 Ariana Bravo, I'm getting very impressed with. Very impressed indeed. Natalie, answer my last two comments. Natty solid liker in my... I thought I did, Matt. Jimmy Savile... Let's not go there. Oh no, let's not go there. As Taylor Swift said on Graham Norton when... what's his name? John Cleese said he loved cats. And he said they're insipid just like women. And Taylor Swift was on the sofa with him and she went... Oh no, let's not go there. Natty solid, I like her in my opinion. Good broadcaster. Jimmy Savile, Rachel, Gary Glitter. Oh God, let's definitely not go there. Kira Megan is a better... No. So the broadcast scoring along with Hookster of the week. Right, answer my... I thought I did... Matt, let's go back. I don't know if it will let me go back very... Lock Jess and Hookster in the room alone for a few hours and see what happens. Oh God, I don't think we need to even imagine that, do we? No. Let's not, because if you get that in your head, you'll never get it out. That'll never clear. You won't wake up the next morning and go, "Oh, I'm glad I've forgotten that." No, let's not, Matt. Let's not. Let's just forget that message even appeared in my chat. Let's just rewind 30 seconds and say, no, that message wasn't even there. No. Jess and Hannah would dominate the Hookster on track. On that lovely note, I'd just like to say thanks everyone for watching my first live Hookster Talks back again. You have been awesome as always. TRL limit. Oh. We definitely don't want to go there, do we? Mr. Will Have Fun Gaming. We definitely do not want to go there, do we? No. Oh God. No. But you said it now. There's no takey backs. You said it, but we definitely don't want to go there, do we? No. Christian Horner's a better... I'll tell you what, I bet he is, because he used to drive, didn't he, back in his day? So I bet he is a better driver than me. Anyone's a better driver than me, basically. Hayden Gullis is a better... No. I dispute that fact. I've watched his videos. Yes. I love that man, but he's very, very bloody loud. Very loud. And he's also what you call a... narcissist, and I'll explain what a narcissist is, okay, by using the magic of YouTube. Okay, I do apologise, Hayden Gullis fans, but I haven't said anything bad about him. I'm just saying he's a narcissist, and I'll have my evidence. Here is my evidence. La 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 la. Put it out there. Hopefully it will come up on the screen sometime before 2024. Here you go. Here's Hayden Gullis, and he is a narcissist. And here's my explanation, because in every single one of his thumbnails for his videos, his picture of his face is in the video. Pretty much 99.9% of... Look, there he is. And it's the same picture. Or the same of about 3 pictures. Yeah. See? With his mouth open. With his mouth open. With his mouth open. With his mouth open. But here's... Look. It's his same bobblehead. In pretty much... Let's go to videos, because it looks even worse when you go to videos. There you go. Look, see? Hayden. Let's go per... Hayden. Are you getting the point now? This is a narcissist, because he just loves to see himself in his own videos. You see? Look, Hayden, he's everywhere. It's not a bad thing. Well, a lot of people don't like narcissists, but that is Hayden Gullis. Now, let me juxtapose that with my own channel thumbnails. Go to videos. Apart from the fact that top one isn't even me, that's Christian Clean. But look. Where is my face in every thumbnail? Where is my face? Wait, it's not there at all. Look, it just isn't there at all. My face is the only ones where my face is in the videos are live streams, because that's auto generated by YouTube. Or some of the videos I used to make back in the day when I couldn't be bothered to do a thumbnail, so YouTube's just picked that thumbnail as so it features my face. But actually physically putting my face on a thumbnail, I don't think I've ever done it. Don't think I've ever done it. Everything that features my face is auto generated as a thumbnail. I can't even remember if I've ever actually put my face on a thumbnail. I don't think I have. I don't think I have. I say the live ones will be full of my thumbnails because, as I say, that's just generated by YouTube. So look, there's me, all of them. So there you go. There is my evidence, and there are my facts. Mike Crack, I agree. Ferrari Pit Stop Guys, I agree. TB, yes. Aaron Gilliard, I think. Let's not go there either, Will F1 Gaming. No, KDF1, sorry. Let's not go there either. It's 2024 already. Hayden Gullis copied the All Seasons. Yes, Hayden Gullis did copy the All Seasons. You are entirely correct. Yes. I'm not 100% happy about it, but there's not a lot I can do about it, because as soon as you come up with an original idea, someone is going to copy it. That's just a given. That happens in TV, films, all the time. You come up with an original idea and someone goes and copies it. So there's nothing you can do about it. Am I happy about it? Not really. But, you know, his videos, the style is enough different to it not to be a complete copy of the All Seasons. So that's okay. I've got my own sort of spin on it, and I don't shout and do all that and do all the fast cuts that he does in his videos. Some of those cuts are just ridiculously fast, and I you know, you can't keep up with it sometimes. What's going on? One of his videos recently, he did 5 cuts overtaking one car, and I'm like, why didn't you just show yourself overtaking the car instead of just keep cut, just to try and make it even more exciting? Just overtake the car and then move on, you know? I didn't get it. But anyway, as I say, he's different enough not to be the same. But yeah, I'm not 100% happy with it, but it happens. So what can you do? Hayden likes it in the mouth. Okay then. Jess McFadden is the GOAT. No one wants to see your face in the thumbnails. That's the only reason you don't put it on. This, of course, is also true. Yes. Bat Bear is a better driver than Hookster. Dom's dog is a better driver than Hookster. Okay. How long have we been on now? 2 hours. 2 hours almost. 1 hour 58. Time I say goodbye, it will be 2 hours. So I'd just like to say thanks so much, everyone, for watching tonight on my first Hookster Talks back after the brilliant Breaking Point 2 of last week. If anyone watched the final of that was epic. So, yeah, thanks to Will F1 Gaming, KDF1, Matthew 7657, Scott Barnes was in there as well. And, of course, Planal Plessy. I think that's everyone. I'm just scrolling back up the stream. No, I don't think there's any. Wow, lots of messages tonight. Absolutely fantastic. There's got to be about 300 messages in that chat. Got to be. Great to see, and great to see the two of you having a discussion in the chat as well earlier. That between JW97 and Will F1 Gaming. That was great to see. As I say, I love it when you use this as, you know, a sort of communicational board. That's great to see, and very good to see that, you know, you didn't start shouting insults at each other and what have you, which which is, it's always nice to see. It's always nice to see. Arguments are fine, disagreements are fine. I haven't got a problem with that whatsoever. And you kept it really good. So well done to both of you there. Helium Trophy. Helium Trophy is here right at the start of the stream. Almost forgot Helium Trophy. Oh my God, how could you forget Helium Trophy? Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. You have been awesome as always. Enjoyed the Singapore Grand Prix on Sunday, and of course I will be back on Sunday for the All Seasons as well. So thanks everyone, awesome as always from me and Mr. TV Bet. I'll try and get Facebook fixed for next week. Yes, I should have tested it, but unfortunately I was having microphone problems, so I had to get that sorted out, so I didn't have time to test Facebook. We will sort it for next year. Next week. It might be next year. Anyway, Mr. TB says, thanks everyone for watching this stupid old man for nearly 2 hours waffle on about absolutely nothing. Yes, absolutely nothing. There he is, TB. I love you. There you go, lads. Everyone needs a bear. That's enough of that. Right. Was that it from the comments? Jess McFadden is a living treasure. The creepy local priest is driving the Hookster. I was in the discussion too, you plum. I need my gratification. I'm sorry. Yes, okay. KDF1 was in the discussion. I do apologise. Ooh, look at this. Let's all throw rotten fruit at the Hookster now because he didn't include me. He didn't include me. Hey, you bastard. Yeah, take this bloody rotten old tomato. Go on, and this bloody rotten old bloody broccoli. I apologise unrefutably and unreservedly. Nope, it wasn't. You'll be dead by next year. Jeremy Clarkson is the better driver than Hookster. On that note, I will say thank you everyone and good night. Jesus, I'm out of here. Bloody hell.